This video is to show a custom work that's been completed by TerranScapes recently that's a little bit different than what normally I show people on YouTube, and it's also a check for the customer to see that the work has been completed to their satisfaction. Before I talk about this project, however, if you want any custom work done by TerranScapes, of course, you can always visit TerranScapes.com, and you can get all the information on how to contact me and to contract for some custom project for yourself. So this customer wanted to make an embankment that he could finish himself. He was interested in making a trench, and the trench or an embankment wall, like a retaining wall in an urban setting. And what he wanted was something that was 18 centimeters high by 67 centimeters long, which produces a 15-degree angle. And then he's going to finish this by adding plastic hard sheets in the form of plates to model, I think, concrete, which will be overlaid on top of this. He originally was looking at the trenches that TerranScapes recently released and thinking about modifying those for his project, but when he began to describe what he was really interested in, I quickly realized that I could do a better job that's going to make his work easier and cost him less. So, the first thing that I just wanted to show, of course, was to indicate that this is the right dimensions and to talk a little bit about these pieces. These are, I forget, about 230 some odd millimeters long. That's about 23 centimeters. And the thing that I wanted to mention, however, of course, the customer did a very nice job of sending me very detailed diagrams on the dimensions of all these pieces, and I just wanted to show how they came out. And the request was for about 15 straights. I think, if I recall correctly, 8 corners. I have to check what I've got in the box here. The corners are same thing, but they're cut on 2 sides, and they are 67 by 67 to match the slopes of this one. These aren't going to sit quite flat because of this mat here. And then, so of course you can make a 90-degree right angle like that, and viewed it from the other side, of course, you can see really how that produces a trench-like structure. The customer also wanted an unusual piece that's shaped a bit like a U. And in order to do a U-joint, what I did was, using the regular corners, I cut a slightly shorter, let me see if I can put that in the center here so we can see that better, a slightly shorter length so that the overall length is the same as a regular straight. Alright, and when placed, to make the U shape that he specified, we need a little triangular piece. So I cut a triangular piece to sit in there, and what you get is this flat space here with this angular U-shaped joint that was specified in the work project. Overall, I thought this came out pretty well, and I thought that I would leave it separate like this for shipping because larger size makes it more likely to have stresses placed on it at a, at an angle, so that's going to cause potential breakage. So it'll be a little easier to ship this way, and to assemble, that's going to take no problem when you get it. One thing I wanted to mention, however, is that the customer did mention measurements in millimeters, and I use a hot wire table to cut this, and the hot wire table is pretty tight tolerance, but it is plus or minus a millimeter or so. So what you'll notice is that some of these pieces come up and make a very nice trimmed corner here, and some where it dropped literally about a millimeter, it comes up and it trims up, and then there's a slight flat spot right at the top here. I'm not sure I can control it to get 15 exact pieces the same. So what I've done is I've cut about 3 extra of these, an extra corner, and I've included, I think, a couple extra triangles and a couple other pieces so that you could have extras if you want to modify them, or if you wanted to pick the pieces that match up the best. I mean, but literally, we're talking about a millimeter here. And if you're going to be laying plastic hard sheets over the top, of course, this is also pretty compressible. This squeezes just a little bit, so I think it's fairly malleable to meet your need. Of course, normally I'd be concerned about the thin edge on this, but again, because it's going to be overlaid with plasticard or styrene sheeting of some sort, that will of course reinforce it, and so I'm not really too concerned. So the reason I really wanted to put this up, of course, was just to double check with the customer before I put this in the box to get ready to get mailed, that this was meeting the specifications, and also to indicate that when you think about custom work for TerranScapes, don't just think about finished products, a castle, a building, a special kind of swamp, or something like that. Think about having projects done as a base step for you to finish later, but having finished quality that you might not be able to do at home. Most people don't have a hot wire table, and cutting all of these to precision angles would be pretty difficult to do by hand, especially in foam, and wood makes it prohibitively expensive and isn't really necessary. So anyway, if you have some kind of project where you'd like a head start and you'd like to finish it yourself, you can always visit TerranScapes and see what help I can provide.